Hello, beautiful people on the internet. It's me, Godfrey What Ifs, and I'm here to tell you on a new What If, and it's called What If Deku Had Luke Cage's Powers Part 5. And before I jump into the story, please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that I'll be able to survive on YouTube. I beg of you, and comment down below what kind of what ifs that you have for me. Anyway, last time that I left off, Hakaguri, Bakugo, and Izuku were walking from UA to this train station. And everyone was a little bit hesitant, including Ida and Uraka, their new friends that they had made in UA, because they realized that he was what the media dubbed him as a survivor, and they were pretty much uneasy about it. But Hakaguri wasn't, because, well, as I told you in the previous what ifs, Izuku had saved her life back then, 2 years ago, when he was 12 years old. Anyway, let's jump into the current story. A few weeks passed, some people were still ignoring Izuku, which kind of made him a little bit sad, but it didn't really matter. And Aizawa came to tell them that they were going to the USJ so that they could practice rescue missions. And they told everybody to get into the bus. And as you know, everyone was still wearing their costume, and Izuku's costume wasn't damaged. In fact, it still looks like this. Anyway, the reason why I chose this was because of how he looks and because of what he wears. As you know about Luke Cage, he has indestructible skin, but that doesn't apply to everywhere. Only his skin and his muscles. It does affect his eyes. That's why I chose this, because I consider it as a tactical visor goggle so that nobody could really just blind him. Anyway, as everyone gets into the bus, they were discussing about everyone's quirks, about who's the strongest, and some of them Denki decided to speak up to Izuku because everyone was a little bit too scared, and then decided to ask him how his quirk works. And then Izuku just told them everything that he needs to know about it, that he's incredibly strong, incredibly tough, and that he has laser eyes. And they were like, wait, you have laser eyes? And then Izuku just dismisses it, saying, no, I'm joking. And then he's like, yeah, cool. Yeah, I would say that he's like one of the strongest. Like the third strongest. Followed by Bakugo and then Todoroki as the first. And then Deku pipes up saying, I'm not the third. I beat this fool on multiple occasions. And then Bakugo is like, ha! Please admit it, Izuku. I'm stronger than you. Even these classmates know about it. And then Izuku just looks at him saying, shut up! And Todoroki, well, he just minded his own business. He doesn't really care because after all, people still called him the first. And anyway, they head into the building and then see 13. Uraka is still jazzed because she's meeting 13, her hero. And then 13 still gives about that speech about how quirks could be dangerous and how it could be easily killed. And then they start asking about where's Oma, and then 13 just puts up 3 fingers saying that he's out of his time limit. And then Bakugo and Izuku realize this, and they're like, and then they just look at each other and then they just thought the same thing. Crap. And anyway, before they even made it down the stairs, a portal opens, and then they see a bunch of villains, and Shigaraki and Kurogiri. And then they were like, Mr. Aizawa, is this part of the simulation? And then Shigaraki pipes up saying that, we are the League of Villains, and we came here with one goal in mind, to kill your symbol of peace. And then everyone was like, are these guys serious? And the Bakugo is like, Izuku, what do you think? And then Deku is just blinking his eyes saying, those guys are the real deal. This is not fake. They're really here to kill All Might. And then as I was like, everyone quickly head back. 13, call for backup. And then 13 tries to do something and says, I can't. They must have cut off communications. And then Kurogiri appears right in front of them, saying that, sorry to jump into your parade, but like my associate said, we came here to kill All Might. And, well, we expected him to be here, but it seems that he's running a bit late. No matter, we'll just deal with you three. And then Izuku tells Ida to fucking run. And then him, Bakugo, and Kirishima jumps Kurogiri. But Kurogiri deals with him. But that was not the point. It was for a distraction, which led Ida to yeet himself out there and to UA so that he could be able to tell everyone what is happening. But due to this, Well, Kurigiri spreads them everywhere. And I want to say that Izuku is landed with Bakugo and Kirishima, but if I do that, oh boy, Mineta and Floppy will just die because they have legit no way to escape that water. So I'll say that he did appear in the water, and well, since he doesn't have anything that can help him in water, he's still saved by Floppy. I said Mineta. Oh my god, I forgot. Guy, Mineta is gone. Guy, I forgot. I'm so sorry, people. Anyway, Floppy still helps Deku out of there. And then Izuku is like, thanks. And then Floppy is like, Ribbit, don't worry about it. So, how are we gonna get out of here? Ribbit. And then Deku starts formulating a plan, thinking about it. And then as he's doing this, some of the villains are still, well, coming, and then they'll soon reach the boat in like 10 seconds estimated. And then Deku's all like, I got it. Do you trust me? And then as he's all like, Ribbit, I don't have much of a choice now, do I? And then Izuku's like, nope. And then he leaps off. And then he starts to head to the water. And before he does, he spreads his arm wide and then claps, creating a shockwave that disrupts the river. And then creates a funnel. Spinning the water and all the villains in it. Then Asui grabs Deku by the tongue and then lifts him back. And then he's like, well, that takes care of the villains. Do you mind? And then Asui's like, Ribbit, mind what? And then Deku just grabs Uraraka by the waist, which actually flusters her a bit. And then he leaps off with her to normal ground. And then as he does this, the Nomu appears. And then they see this big, giant, dark humanoid creature with an exposed brain and a beak and combat shorts. And then Shigaraki is just laughing, saying that this is what we brought to kill All Might. All of you are goners. And then as he said the word All Might kicks down the door and then sees everything in disarray. And he is pissed. And then he just telling all of his students, saying, don't worry, students, because I am here. And then he rips through all those crowds. And I'm just going to say that, well, All Might did appear early before Aizawa got trashed by the Nomu, because it did take him a while to finally pass on his successor, so he still got a lot of those embers left, and he spent a little bit of it to finally reach there. So Aizawa doesn't get wrecked yet. So he never gets wrecked. And as he does this, he comes across the Nomu and then tries to punch him. But it didn't work. And then tries punching it again. And then punching it again. And then punching it again. And then punching it again. But then nothing was working. And then Shigaraki is like, ha 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 ha. It's no use, All Might. We specifically made that thing to kill you. It has super strength, shock absorption, and even regeneration. There is nothing that you can do. And then All Might is like, of course there is. And then he grabs behind him and then tries to do a German suplex, saying that if I can mobilize this thing, I could be able to help the rest of the students. And Kurigiri stops that, putting a portal where the Nomu's head would have been smashed into, and then putting it in front of All Might. And then it starts to grab his side, piercing his injury. And then Bakugo looks at this, and Izuku looks at this, saying, no! And then they begin to rush. One of them is heading for Kurigiri, which is Bakugo, and the other one is heading to the Nomu. Bakugo manages to punch. I said punch. Well, yes, he did punch him with a 5% smash. I'll say that he hasn't mastered full Kami, but he's at least able to do an output to how much he can smash with his arm. And it wasn't enough to knock out Kurigiri, but it was enough to sever his connection, breaking the portal, and then the Nomu is sent up flying through All Might's waist, almost breaking it. And then Deku comes face to face with the Nomu, and then they begin to fight. It's keeps on punching Deku, but it doesn't back down thanks to his unbreakable skin. And then Deku punches it, but thanks to his soccer exhaustion, it's always fighting on. And then these things look like there's some kind of crazy stalemate. And then Shigaraki's like, who the hell is this kid? And then he just keeps on punching and punching and punching it. But sadly, the normal strength surpasses Deku, and then it punches him through the stairs. He lands face first into the stairs. And then, he's knocked out. This knocked the wind out of him. But this, granted the time All Might needed to recover. And then he starts doing those 360 consecutive blows and then sending Nomu into space. And then Shigaraki's like, no, damn it. And then he starts looking at the kid because he was somewhat impressed by it. Despite all those punches, he never even flinched once. And then he was like, Kurigiri, that kid could be a problem for later on. We need to do something about it. And then Kurigiri is like, yes, master, but for now we shall retreat. And Shigaraki is just like, fine. And then he did this. And as he did that, all the heroes, including Ida, had just hit the doors to the UA, busting them. Oh, and before I forget, TS13 is injured and is put into a coma. Like, she doesn't recover from it like in the anime. She's put straight into a coma. And let's continue. Anyway, All Might falls down to his knees and he is steaming. Izuku looks at Bakugo and Bakugo looks at Izuku and they're like, what are we gonna do? And it was like, everyone was just looking at him saying, why is All Might steaming? Is he okay? And then All Might just gets back up, still steaming, but with a confident smile on his face saying that, no worries, young heroes, because I am still here and I promise that I'll always be here to protect you all. And then all of them just starts breathing a sigh of freaking relief, because that was one of the most nerve-wracking things that they've ever done. And the villains that were with Shigaraki and Kurigiri, the minute that the Nomu was sent to space, they immediately gave up. So there was no point in that. And then everyone still makes it back safely except for 13, sadly, and All Might is somewhat in a critical condition due to what he had to do. It did pierce his injury and it nearly broke his spine. If he pushes himself again, he might actually die next time. And then All Might takes this to consideration and then he begins to leave. And as he's leaving, he comes face to face with Bakugo and Izuku. And then Bakugo is like, damn it, if only I could master one for all. And then Deku just pats him on the back saying, don't worry, man, you get it eventually. And then Bakugo is like, I hope you're right. And then All Might is like, don't worry, young heroes. Don't, because you two, I know that you two one day will become two of the greatest heroes this world has ever known. I'm glad I got to meet both of you and mentor you. And then Izuku is like, I'm just glad that you saved me that day. And then everyone still takes their 2 weeks break notice. Everyone is contemplating on how it happened. The news is all over the place. Everyone is wondering how the fuck they were infiltrated. Nezu props the idea of a traitor. Everyone starts being suspicious. And everyone does come back. And Uraka and Tenya Ida, everyone in Class 1A actually starts to warm up to Deku because of what he did. Because if he hadn't kept that Nomu occupied, All Might have actually died that day. And, they're just glad that he's still alive despite all those hits. I mean, I know that you're damn invulnerable, but Izuku, you make my hardening quirk look like a joke, comments Kirishima. And then, Kaminari is all like, yeah, no kidding. I knew that you were tough, but damn. It's almost like as if nothing can put you down. And then Izuku just hits his hand saying, well, almost nothing can. And well, they do spend some time thinking about it until Aizawa comes into the classroom, and then it's all like, today, a few weeks ago, we experienced the USJ attack. 13 is still in a coma, and All Might sadly will not be teaching for a couple of weeks because he still needs time to recover. But saying this, we need to prove that UA is still the way that it is. And what better way? And everyone's like, oh no, please not a hard test, please not a hard test, please not a hard test, be normal school stuff, please be normal school stuff. And then Aizawa says, then the UA Sports Festival. And everyone's, let's say, really saying that, it's just a sports festival. Then their mind wires back thinking about what he just said. He's like, the sports festival? And then Jiro is all like, sir, is that really wise? And then he's like, yes, we need to still show that the world that despite what happened, that this place still produces the great heroes of the next generation. And what better way than the UA Sports Festival? And then he starts telling everybody, just get ready because in the next few weeks, you all are going to get sighted by heroes. And this can make or break your future. So, what are you going to do? And everyone just starts looking at him with determination, saying that we won't fail. And Aizawa just starts to smile, saying, good. And this is where I'm going to leave it off today, guys. Honestly, I am a little bit tired about it. That's why I kind of did it. So if you guys can still do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and comment on, well, anything that I did wrong, what ifs, basically anything. And I will see you all in the next one. In What If Deku Allocages Powers Part 6, the Sports Festival. And you also see where Endeavor's changes come to play.